Hi and good morning everyone. My name is Muhammad Ishraq bin Muhammad No, and for today I will be presenting on my proofreading and editing analysis of an essay that discussed the negative effects of technology on society. Before I begin my analysis, here is an overview of my presentation for today. So for the first thing, I will briefly introduce the original article, and then I will discuss the language error that I found in the text, including punctuation, capitalization, and also word choice error. And lastly, after that, I will also analyze the language, the context, and content of the essay before ending it with my conclusion. So as we can see, the original article focused on impact of technology on human life and society. And also the writer argues that technological developments have created many negative consequences and may eventually become harmful to humanity. And the essay also discussed different forms of technology, including cameras, television, computers, and a lot more, while also emphasizing their possible dangers. For the first category of errors that I found, which is punctuation errors, as we can see in the table, one example is the phrase more useful but. So this correction is necessary because the conjunction but should be preceded by a comma rather than a semicolon. Another example is technology developing because the semicolon separates the idea that should remain connect, and this will make the sentence sounds more awkward and also difficult to read. And for the final example is the word on it allowing. So by adding a comma, this will create a clear separation between the ideas and also improve the flow of the sentence. So this punctuation correction will help make this essay easier to understand and also more grammatically accurate. Moving on to the second category of errors, which is capitalization errors. And one example is the correction from the word was. So what I did is I changed the capitalization from uppercase to lowercase letters. And by changing the capitalization inside the bracket, can unnecessarily alter the original quotation and also affects its accuracy. And the same things also apply to the second example, which is partly because. In this case, the word because appears in the middle of the sentence, so it should not be capitalized. But however, in the example 3, in the quotation television can, I turn the word television from lowercase letter to uppercase because the quote is a complete sentence and it should begin with a capital letter. For the last category of errors, which is the word choice error, in the example, the phrase more scary, I change it into scarier because it is the correct comparative form of the adjective. And for the second example, the word destructible is also inappropriate because it means easily broken, not dangerous. So I change it into better alternative, which is harmful, because as we know, the article talk about human, not an easily broken things. And for the last example is the use of lie instead of rely, because this change the meaning of the sentence and can confuse the readers. Next, I will discuss about the overall language used in the essay. Generally, the essay is clear and also understandable, which makes it accessible to a wide audience. But however, it doesn't fully meet the standards expected in academic writing because one issue is the use of emotional and also exaggerated expression. For example, the writer described technology as scary and suggests that it could lead to the end of mankind. And as we can see, the expression makes the argument appear more subjective and also less convincing. And the essay also contains several grammar and sentence structure issues that I think affects the clarity. And some of the sentences are also overly long or awkwardly written, which make them difficult to follow. So overall, the essay would benefit from more formal, precise, and objective language. Now we're moving on to the context analysis. So the essay is written within a modern technological context, where rapid technological developments continue to influence everyday life. And its main purpose is to warn the readers about the dangers of becoming too dependent on technology. And the writer raised concerns about issues such as privacy invasion and reduced human interaction and also the possible risk of future technological advancements. and the intended audience appears to be the general public, especially people who regularly use technology in their daily life. But however, one limitation of the essay is that it focuses mainly on the negative effects of the technology, and it doesn't discuss the many benefits the technology provides, which I think will make the discussion less balanced and also less comprehensive. Now, I will discuss about the content of the essay. So, the essay covers a wide range of technologies from the older inventions such as cameras and television to modern developments like computers, robotics, and also genetics. So, the writer used these examples to support the argument that technology can have a negative consequences for society. But however, one weakness is that many of the claims are not supported with a strong evidence, and in several cases, the writer makes a broad statement without providing enough facts or reliable source. And in addition, some ideas are repeated throughout the essay, which I think will reduce the depth of the discussion. While the topic is interesting and relevant, but the content would be stronger if it include more evidence and also deeper analysis and a more balanced perspective. To conclude my presentation for today, this report analyzed the essay language, context, and also the content. Although the article discussed an important issue about technology, the language errors and also the weak evidence reduced its effectiveness. But overall, clearer writing and a more balanced discussion will improve this essay. With all the topics I just covered in this video, that will brings me to the end of my presentation for today. Thank you for your attention.